Welcome everyone to yet another inspiring and motivating IAPC&M author series, where we get to pick the brains of those amazing people who have actually made it right through to the end of the process and can call themselves an author. So this series can be found on our blog, which complements our book review club, which we all enjoy so much. So maybe you too are dreaming of writing a book, keep deciding you're going to write a book, but that, like me, it just keeps getting postponed behind 101 reasons. Then you are in the right place, because here we get to hear the why and the how and the what having a book published did for their business from a series of people in the know. So my name is Julie Kennedy. I am your IAPC&M host, and I'm delighted today to welcome Dona Bayounguissa, personal development intelligence consultant, accredited coach, tech and data enthusiast, and author of The Augmented I. So welcome, Dona. Delighted to have you with us here tonight.
Hi, good evening, Julie.
Lovely to have you. And thank you for making time, because let alone having written one book, and I have now understood a second book, Dona is also a new mother. So there's how we can balance everything up in the air. So Dona, maybe we just start at the very beginning. You know, why did you want to write a book?
So at the beginning, I never thought about writing a book. But I used to write articles. I used to enjoy blogging, and what was supposed to be a blog article ended up being 2 books.
Oh, wow. So you just started, you got this idea. So it was something that was important to you, something that you wanted to share?
Yeah, so the things that I wanted to create my own business in personal development. Not coaching, but really personal development, about helping business and people being in touch with themselves, and really putting that personal development into the heart of business. But I didn't really know how to explain my idea to others, and even to myself. I needed to extract that idea from my mind. So I started writing a blog article, but it was not enough. So one page ended up being like 10 and 100, and it ended up being like 2 books.
Wow.
The first one was The Infinite I, which was a process to help people being in touch with themselves.
Right. And so basically, yeah, so you wanted to share a message, and you thought it was just going to be a short message. Yeah. And before you knew it, one went to the other. But then how do you structure that? Because that's something that I have a bit of a problem with. Some people find it difficult to write. I find it hard to stop writing. So there's just, I go off in all directions. How did you manage to then take that blog article and structure it in a way where it become not 1, but 2 books? How did you know to stop the first one and start the second one?
First, I didn't want to be panicked about the number of words. It was not about quantity, it was about quality. So I was not thinking about, oh, I need to write the big books, I need to write like a small books. I just needed to write. I just needed to get all those ideas out of my mind. And at the beginning, it was a bit messy, to be honest. And I decided to change the approach and just make it more personal. Like I decided basically to talk about my journey. And that was the red line, the structure of the books was my journey. I ended up in personal development myself as a user before becoming a coach.
And that's probably a very good tip to give, right? It's you follow your heart, and you use your journey and the different steps or obstacles, whatever that you came across on the line, and you incorporate them then into that book. And so how did you move from 1 book to 2? How did you not try and jam everything into the first one?
So my first try was I tried to put everything in 1 book, and it was just not digest. It was just too much. Personal development is a very deep subject, and you can't put everything in the books. And actually, the books are not well. Those books were not for the same audience. Let's say, I wanted to touch entrepreneurs, but first I wanted entrepreneurs to be in touch with themselves. Right. So the first book was about helping entrepreneurs being in touch with themselves. So The Infinite I, being in touch with their true self, with their purpose, with their potential. And once they're in touch with themselves, they can be in touch with the world. And this is why I write in The Augmented I, about entrepreneurs, right, doing things, positive things for the world.
How beautiful. I mean, it sounds, of course, it's easy for us to listen to somebody who's got there. I imagine, was it easy every day? Were you as clear every day on how to do it as you are now?
It was not clear every day. I mean, writing, it's a messy process. We have all these ideas in our mind, and also because we are coach, sometimes, you know, we talk to ourselves, we think that everyone understands us. You know, because we have been in this journey for so long that what seems to be like so obvious for ourselves, we think that it's obvious for others. Right. And when I was on the process of editing and reading and working with editors and reviewers, it was not obvious for everyone. Yes. You know, like
so that's another tip, right? That we actually need to have somebody else look at it, because we know what we want to say, but does anybody else actually understand what it is that we're saying? And sometimes, as you said, we jump steps because they're obvious to us. So it's so that's another tip. But one other tip that I pulled out of what you said before as well was to not restrict yourself in your creativity by starting off with an amount of numbers or an amount of pages, to basically let it flow. And it might be messy, yes, but then you might discover that in your flow you've actually got the content for 3 or 4 books. You know, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so you've talked about editors, reviewers, etc. So did you start off on this mission on your own, as in just you doing it?
I started on my own because it was my project. I really wanted to speak about my experience, my work, and my vision. And when the book was finished, first I asked for editors, because I'm not a native English speaker. So of course I needed people for the English, and also I wanted people who were interested in personal development,
right?
To review my books and get like their perspective. People who are like in another part of their journey, who are like maybe who just start in personal development, or in the middle of, have a little bit of knowledge in personal development. I didn't want any experts. I just wanted like wide public, like normal public, just to get like some
feedback, right?
Feedback from my books. Yeah.
And so where did you find these people? Were they out of your own network, or?
It was difficult. I went to Goodreads. I went in Goodreads, and I managed to find, you have like some groups about reviewers available for free. Some ask for payment, some people are free. If there is much more people interested in reviewing fictions, but you can find some people interested in non-fiction. I also found some Facebook groups about reviewers and people helping authors in creating their books. And actually, I made an exchange with another coach. So this coach was specialized, I think, in emotional management, something like that. And she was writing a book. She was looking for a reviewer. We made an agreement, like she reviewed my books and I review her books.
That's very clever. Yeah, very clever way to do that. So how long did the first step, I mean, how long did this writing and just sort of downloading it all and you know, working out the structure, how long did that take?
It took me months. It took me
months is already good. Some people it takes years, so months is good.
It took me months. I will say maybe let's say maybe like 4-5 months of writing like the first books. A little bit less for the second one, because I already knew, I had a better idea. It was much more straightforward for the second one. So the second one was shorter. It took me less time, but yeah, a couple of months just working on it.
I'm always curious as to, you know, what were you saying to yourself? Because I mean, I know, for example, I just take my experience. I stopped myself from the start saying, okay, what do you have to say, which is new? So many books out there, you know, people are not going to be bothered to read it. How did you get yourself out of that? Or were you crystal clear that, did you have no doubt? So you're not one of those people who then thinks, well, you know, are people really waiting for another book on this or whatsoever? How did you motivate yourself?
I think that we all have, because we are all different, we are all unique, we all have a different story to share. Don't think that because we are all unique and different, you can have like the topic of personal development, and because you're like billions of people, you have billions of different journeys. we have billions of stories to tell, you know.
Right.
And don't be worried about, oh, someone already said it, you know. Because of our own experience, unique experience, we have always have something different to share.
Right. That's a very good point. I mean, even exactly the same topic, it will be said differently depending, and especially you've added in your personal story, so nobody else has that. Now, was it all based on your own ideas? Did you also have to do research and things like that? Or did you just literally base it on everything that you'd learned, obstacles?
It was a mix of everything. It was a mix of research, a mix of my experience, and mix of little bit of innovation as well. Because this book, when I was writing the first book, the Infinite Eye, I was very much interested in data visualization. So I wanted to. The idea was like, okay, there is a problem with people. People need to be in touch with themselves, but they keep forgetting. They keep forgetting
Yes.
who they are. They keep forgetting their potential. What can I do to help them be in touch with themselves and just be quicker, going back to their journey, to their past much more quicker. People spend too many time like doing things that already know, being themselves and they already know who they are. They keep forgetting. So that's why was that idea of data visualization, you know, like graph and stats, like numbers.
Right.
So that's the innovative side. The research was on my personal journey because I'm from Congo descent, and I was also for my personal knowledge. I was studying the philosophy of my ancestors, and I came across something very interesting about the Congolese cosmogram, the way they're seeing the world. And this is how I came with this like a spiral.
Right. So you were very keen on sharing this, right? You had something of value you wanted to share. Oh dear, I'm losing you. I don't know if it's you or me. But we're having a problem with
my ancestor gave me the world, and trust you will touch the right people. And my journey. What I think was very like fundamental in personal development. Personal development is a very wide subject. You know, you have hundreds of subjects. I couldn't put hundreds of chapters on my books. I needed to go straight to the point and find the most, let's say, the major points that I think that people should get to move on in their life and overcome challenge and keep growing on their journey.
So you did ask yourself lots of questions, right? As in, what do I put in? What is essential? What could then be used later, etc. So, okay, so you wrote, then you got editors and reviewers, and then what more was needed before it actually became a book and you could say, okay, it's ready? Did you publish it yourself? Did you find a publisher?
So I'm quite artistic as well. I like art, all these kind of things. So I wanted to create my own cover. And actually, it was much more difficult. And I was thinking, you know what, Dona, you're like a coach, just stick to coaching.
Right, right.
Some people are good in graphics or these kind of things. So just delegate.
Right. So you started on your own thinking you could do it and realized it wasn't as easy as that. So was that difficult to find somebody who understood what you wanted to convey in this book?
Not at all. I went in Fiverr.
Ah, yeah.
Fiverr, and you can find a lot of people specialized in creating books, books cover. I took a couple of people, maybe like 4 or 5, so I could have like choice.
Yeah.
Some people are just awful, and I got some very good covers, from women actually. Some very good covers, really like able to create the cover that I had in my mind. Not something yeah, something that I really, I was really like seeing
That
in
you
my mind.
personally resonated with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is important. I mean, the book is the face of our baby, let's say, and I think it is important that we fully embrace it as well. So, okay, so that was not too difficult either, because we're talking about inspiring and motivating people. So you're giving lots of good examples of how you managed to do that. Had you given yourself a specific deadline, or had you just sort of said, "I'll know when it's finished"?
No, I just wanted to finish when I feel that it's finished, when I feel that it was the right time just to stop. I didn't want to spend like a full year, but I think that I enjoy so much writing like my books that I just didn't want to rush the process and just like, like so many things I start very well and end up very badly or like in a rush. And I really wanted to finish it like in a proper way. The editing part took quite a while, a couple of months, for the editing, for the formatting as well. I did the formatting myself. It was
Okay. Yes, that sounds hard. I think that's the technical side of things puts me off a lot.
Yeah, the it took me time, but I think that it's on these things that I can save a little bit of money, you know, like because if you want to create your own book, if you delegate everything, you can create like a book. It can cost you like thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
You know, if you sell very little books, it's a lot of money.
So let's talk about money, because that is, of course, one of the reasons why 97% of people who start writing a book don't actually finish it. How did you finance it? Did you finance it all yourself?
Yes, all myself. Yeah. So I did most of the things that I could do by myself. I did by myself. When I could have like some free help, like doing like exchange, I tried to do. I was doing it. What I had to pay, I had to pay for the cover. I had to pay for the ISBN number. I had to pay for the edition as well, because the edition part was very important. I am not a native English speaker, so I just couldn't afford to publish my book like that. It needed to be like reviewed, and I wanted to have like a couple of reviewers as well, because just to make sure that the English was perfect. And
it is your credibility, right? It's people say you don't judge a book by the cover, but if there are 5 mistakes in the first sentence, most of us do switch off. So it's okay, so that makes total sense. And so then you self-published via Amazon, or?
Yes, via Amazon. I think I tried in Grand Park, but I just stick to Amazon. It was the easiest way, because also in Amazon you can create an ebook. Yes, like the Amazon ebook. The process is much easier. So
okay, so I mean, when did your first one come out?
I think it came out. We are in 2023. I think it was last year, but January, something like that.
Okay, and what would you say that having a book has meant for your business and your mission in personal development?
Credibility. First, I did it for myself. I was not creating a book thinking I would sell like hundreds of thousands of books. It was just like for myself. It's an achievement for myself. It was a challenge, and I just have been able to do it.
Yeah, and as you said before, I liked what you said before as well. It was to download everything that was in your head.
Yeah.
Now that sounds to me like wonderful. That we have all these great ideas, and we have creation and thoughts and expertise and courses and accreditations we've taken. But when you have to write a book, you have to really crystallize it down, and that to me sounds very liberating to really condense what in a structured way. It's very appealing to me, that part of it, the download, to get these ideas out, and they are to be of service, right? The whole idea is, you said indeed you were writing it for yourself, which in itself sounds like a very good tip for me. There's no point going out there writing to get the Pulitzer Prize or whatever it is. It's to write it for yourself, but from a point of view of being of service, right? Of being able, you keep saying, to help other people, really find their true self. So it is to help people, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So
it was
that's
to
what,
help people, and also I had this idea of co-creation with people. I mean, if I put that book in the world, someone may find it like great. They can be in touch with themselves, and be in touch with themselves, they can create something else as well.
yeah.
My book can be like a gem for someone. We can sound like awful for someone else. And in both cases, it still start this co-creating process.
It's still having an impact, right?
Like if someone found my books great, they can think like, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So if someone found my books great, okay, you can take my book as a reference to create something else. And if someone thinks my book is boring or awful, you can still take that book as a reference to think like, you know what, I'm going to do something better than that. In both cases, it's a co-creating process. And I'm grateful for that opportunity, just to be able to put something in the world for others.
Yeah, I mean, what would you say it's changed about how you view yourself? You can call yourself an author. Has that changed something for you?
No, because I'm not about chasing title. I'm really about it's great to have like title, but it's even better to make like a real impact. I'm not stopping at being like an author. My journey was not about being an author. It was about being like a full entrepreneur, I want to keep helping others in their personal development journey. The book was one thing. I would like to keep helping others on the tech side as well, creating some innovations, some more things. The book was a stepping stone, let's say.
Yeah, but as you say, you mentioned credibility, and I would say, I mean, to me, when I know that somebody has written a book on the topic, by definition, I do view them as a higher authority, right? That they have really taken the time to write it all down. So for your credibility in business, it means you have enough content and enough structure to actually write a book. Now, what would you say your book has done for your business? How do you use it? How do you use your book in your business? Do you refer people to it? Do you give it out for free? How do you use your book?
When I'm talking about some subject, I'm referring to some part of my books. I don't give my books for free. I just sometimes I just like share some part of my books on social media, or when I share an opinion, I just refer to my books. But I'm not like over promoting,
No.
I'm not pushing my book in other people's face. Like authors is on my bio. I have my books on my website. When people ask me about my experience, these kind of things, I can talk about my books.
You're referring them to something which they can then choose
but
to,
it's not
to
something
go
that
deeper
I'm putting
in or
to
not.
people's face.
Yeah. And so, okay, you've just written 2 in a short period of time. Is there another one coming?
For now, no. No. I guess that in the next couple of years, with the experience and in the space, I may think about some editing, like changing, writing again the same book, but changing them a little bit, like a new edition. But
yeah, because we change as well, don't we? We have more wisdom, more things, so we can adapt it as well.
Yeah, but for now, no, I'm not. It's not about producing, it's not like I'm not like a singer trying to put a new song like out in the world every 6 months. It's like at this time I had like this huge, like I felt like this need to write like these books. Now that I feel like a need to move on from these books and try to bring something else to the world.
Yeah, but as you say, you're using it as a stepping stone, and you're using it as a reference for people, right? You can refer them to a book if they want to know more. Then they can find out more through your book, etc. And it does give you, without pushing it, it does give you that credibility as an expert in that specific area based on your specific story and level of expertise. So if I were to ask you for, let's say, 3 tips to give to the aspiring authors out there who, for whatever reason, want to write a book, know that a book would be good for their business, know that a book would enable them to also crystallize their thoughts? Like you said, you know, it's messy at first, you can let it all out, and then you can really structure it thinking on what is really important for my readers to know. What 3 tips would you have to share?
Know your why. First, know your why. If it's just about your business, you're focusing on your business, you're not focusing on yourself. And you are the one writing the book, not the business. So it's going to be
true.
Writing a book is very long, you know. Sometimes you have like a writer, what we call writer block, you know, when you don't know what to say, you're like you're not moving, you are like stuck. So it's going to happen. So if you are not in touch with yourself and just this book is just in touch with your business, you will have like a lot of problems like finishing that book. So know your why and make sure that this why is connected to yourself.
Right.
Second, don't be, embrace the self-publishing road. At the beginning, what I tried was to find publishing companies. I'm not J.K. Rowling. In personal development, it's quite hard actually to find publishing house for your books. You will have to go to the if you want to be in full control of the process. You will have to go to the self-publishing road, and it's not something like and I know that some people think like, oh no, self-publishing is like a lower road. It's not like the prestige thing. Not at all.
Not at all anymore.
So some people make very successful books in the self-publishing road. It's true that it's much more work for yourself because you don't have all the help of business like the companies like the house, but I think it's even much more like rewarding when you go through the end and just finish it, you know. And my last tip will be like, don't be too much focused on numbers or how many books I'm going to sell or this kind of things. Do it for yourself, you know. Like the first reward that you want is not the money, it's about like you achieving like these things. A lot of people want to write a book, very few people do it.
Very true. That's why they call it the 3% club. 9, you know, out of 100, 97% don't finish. And that's why we have this series as well. And Dona, I thank you because it was very inspirational, really, you speak from the heart. So let's remind the audience of the names of your books. So it was Infinite Eye.
The Infinite Eye. Yeah.
The Infinite Eye and what was it? The Augmented Eye.
Reconnecting with the spirit, mind, body, world connection. So that book is about connecting personal development with global development. Too many people focusing in their personal development focus that, okay, we work in ourselves to do something in the world, you know, not just being to do that. That's the point of growing.
Yes.
And the Augmented Eye, it's much more for entrepreneurs. It's about helping people being understanding the importance of information and personal development, self-knowledge to be able to help others in so much global challenge.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I hope the people listening out there have really taken note because they were golden nuggets and straight from the heart. You're crystal clear on why and how. And I think that's what makes you such a successful person. And thank you for having made the time, especially in this special period you are in now with a newborn baby, to share this with us in order to inspire other people to take the road and to continue until the end. Dona, thank you very, very much. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Julie. Bye.
Bye.